Good morning. Boker Tov. How are ya? It's Tuesday. It must be Torah Tuesday. Yay. It's New Year's Eve. This is the end of the year for those secular types. We've already done this. This is 3 months ago. Yeah. No, seriously. Tonight is New Year's Eve. I hope everybody has a fun and safe. Don't get too fish naked. And if you do, stay home. Okay? I hope everybody has a good one. It's nice here in beautiful Birmingham, Alabama. And hopefully it will stay that way. And I get to, after we're done here today, I get to do tzedakah. I have somebody who donated their camera equipment to, I'm going to give it to Space 11. Space 111, I think the place is called. Space 111. Downtown Birmingham has education and summer camp opportunities for kids at risk to learn things, and they can use it. They can make photos. They can have photos taken. It's a good program. Very impressed. Art-based. It's really a nice thing. So why are we here today? It's Vayigash. Okay. This is the last time we'll see Jacob. Okay. Jacob's real old at this point. And if you remember that Joseph he's like the vice president, he's the governor in Egypt, and he's in charge of the grains and the food and all that kind of stuff. He's a big shot. And his brothers, Jacob sends his brothers there to ask for food. And of course he says yes. And he plants the thing in Benjamin's bag. And now they pulled him back, and now it's time for the reckoning. Okay? So he set up Benjamin. Benjamin's busted, and the other brothers are freaking out because Jacob won't take this well. He didn't take Joseph's death those years ago. Well, they sure won't take Benjamin's death well. So here we go. All right, so we begin this parsha with Joseph holding up the silver goblet right in Benjamin's face, saying, "Why did you do this? Why did you take it? How could you do this to me? Blah, 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 blah. After all I've done done for you, blah, 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 blah." Okay? They're just freaking out at this point. The brothers plead for mercy, the whole bit. Well, Joseph can't keep up the charade. Joseph finally says, okay, I'm your brother. I'm Joseph. I'm the guy you gave up as dead and sold into slavery all those years ago. And the brothers are like, yeah, okay. They're not sure which is the worst news, that Joseph is alive or in all these years, or that Benjamin's been busted for stealing. Well, it comes down to everybody hugs and makes up, and Joseph has has food brought in, the whole bit, right? Now, here's this big quote. Here's a wonderful quote of this parsha. It was to save life that God sent me ahead of you. Now, why did Joseph say that? Well, because Jacob sent his kids, the rest of his sons, to ask for food, to ask for supplies, because of big famine. So what Joseph is saying is that it was a good thing that he got there before them, because he ended up helping save their life. So what does Joseph do? Joseph says to the brothers, yeah, he's off the hook. Don't worry about it. Why don't you go bring Jacob back here, and you guys live your life here. You'll be able to live it in the palace. You'll be able to live fine. You'll live as an Egyptian, and everything will be great. Let's all be one big happy family again. Well, the brothers go, this is a good deal. So off they go. Okay, they go to bring Jacob. Now, they said, so Jacob's like, okay, let's go. And they said, well, we got something to tell you, Dad. What's that? Well, they told him Joseph is still alive. He is the governor over all the whole land of Egypt. And Jacob's heart went numb, for he did not believe them. But they told him all that Joseph had said to them. Enough, said Israel. My son Joseph is still alive. I must so go see him before I die. Interesting that they go between Jacob and Israel. It's very interesting how he's mentioned. He's either called Jacob or he's called Israel, depending on the passages. And it changes sentence by sentence sometimes here. So, they're on their way, and Jacob has one of his dreams. Okay. Jacob dreams. He has a vision at night, which is a dream. Okay. And what happens? God says, Hineni. No, he doesn't. He says, God called to Israel in a vision by night. Jacob, Jacob. Of course, he answered, I am here. And God said, I am God, the God of your father. Fear not, go to Egypt, for I will make you there into a great nation. I myself will go down with you in Egypt, and I myself will bring you back, and Joseph's hand shall close your eyes. So what's happening here? Well, first of all, does this sound familiar? It should. It's pretty much the same verbiage he says to Abraham. Okay, but here's the biggie, where Jacob says, I am here. Here I am. And what is the Hebrew word that he uses? Yep, Hineni. Hineni, Hineni, here I am, here I am. Remember, that's only used when? It's only used with the patriarchs, Jacob's patriarch, Adam, Noah, and it will be used again, and for the last time, it'll be used by Moses. Okay? This is only the special times when God himself is speaking to somebody. And that person says, here I am, I recognize your voice. I recognize who I'm speaking with. This must be a miracle. Because obviously it's a miracle if you're speaking with God. Okay? So that's the only time that we hear Hineni, Hineni. Okay? Here I am, here I am. Otherwise, we hear Hineni in regular Hebrew text. Okay? That's where I was going with this. Okay? So, Joseph's dream, not only does he say that, okay, God makes him the same promise as he made Jacob when Jacob, remember when he had the stairway dream? He makes the same promise now. Okay. Remember when he says you'll be a great nation and all the stars? Sounds like Abraham? Yeah, remember that? Okay. Okay. Rashi said that God repeats Jacob's name twice as a sign of great love. Nachmanides noted that God called him Jacob, not Israel, because the children of Jacob would struggle as slaves before they finally became a nation. While struggling like a wrestler, Jacob was called by his old name, but later the freed nation would surely be called Israel. See what they're doing here? See what Rashi says? Okay. Remember how important it is when they call out their name and they say, Jacob, Jacob. Okay. Why didn't he just say it once? You know, it's God talking to you. You know you're hearing it. Okay. It means something. Every time it's said, it means something. Okay. That's where they're going here. Okay. So Jacob comes. They have a big reunion. Life is good. Jacob ends up dying. After all, he is an old guy. And Joseph fulfills his promise and goes back, takes Jacob back to the land of Canaan to bury him with his ancestors. Okay? So that's what's going on this week. And that, no, it doesn't, not yet. Jacob is still alive next week. He hasn't died yet. No, I'm sorry. I lied to you. I'm sorry. That's next week where Jacob is going to die, and Joseph will take him back to Canaan. Okay, but we stop this week. We stop with this week with the big reunion and Joseph and Jacob having their reunion and promising he will keep his promise. Joseph will keep his promise. That's where we're at this week, okay? And then next week he'll die. And then the week after that will be Shemot, okay, which is Exodus, okay? So we're almost through with the book of Genesis. Almost. Okay. Thank you for watching. I hope you learned something. We had a bunch of new people on today. That's great. And I hope you learned something. I hope you enjoyed yourself. Again, comments, likes, those little hearts or whatever. Those are so cool. Whatever floats your boat. So, until next week, until next Tuesday, which will be Torah Tuesday, I'll see you then. Peace out.